Verdine White is not merely a bassist. He is a living embodiment of rhythm, movement, and musical joy. For more than 5 decades, his bass lines have pulsed through stadiums, radio waves, and cultural history, forming the backbone of one of the most influential bands of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Born Verdine Adams Jr., he transformed the role of the bass guitarist from a background anchor into a frontline spectacle, leaping, dancing, and commanding stages with infectious energy while never missing a note. As of now, Verdine White's estimated net worth is approximately $10 million, accumulated through album sales exceeding 90 million units worldwide, global touring, royalties, songwriting credits, publishing rights, and decades of consistent relevance in the music industry. Yet, unlike many figures of comparable stature, Verdine's wealth has never been the defining feature of his public identity. His true fortune lies in cultural impact, artistic longevity, and a legacy inseparable from the sound of modern soul and funk music. Early life. Verdine White was born on July 25, 1951, in Chicago, Illinois, into a household where intellect, discipline, and music coexisted seamlessly. His father, Verdine White Sr., was a medical doctor with a deep appreciation for jazz, while his mother nurtured a home environment that encouraged creativity, curiosity, and ambition. Music played constantly in the White household. Records by Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and other jazz luminaries filled the air, shaping the children's ears long before they picked up instruments. Verdine grew up as part of a remarkably talented family. Most notably, his older half-brother Maurice White would later become the visionary founder and spiritual architect of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Another brother, Fred White, would emerge as a gifted drummer, while Monty White served as the band's tour manager. Verdine also has a twin sister, Geraldine, underscoring the deeply interconnected family unit that shaped his values and worldview. His educational journey unfolded within Chicago's public school system, where Verdine first encountered formal music education. At the age of 15, he saw a double bass in a school orchestra room, an encounter that would alter the trajectory of his life. Fascinated by its size, power, and resonance, he gravitated toward the instrument with immediate intensity. Recognizing his passion, his family arranged professional instruction under Roddy Vila of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra and Louis Satterfield, a renowned session musician associated with Chess Records. While Verdine did not pursue a traditional college education, his early training was rigorous and elite, blending classical discipline with street-level musical grit. By his late teens, he was already performing professionally, laying the groundwork for a career that would soon redefine popular music. Personal life. In 1980, Verdine White married Shelley Clark, an accomplished R&B singer best known for her work with the Ikettes and Honeycomb. Their marriage stands as one of the quieter success stories in entertainment, long-lasting, private, and rooted in mutual respect. Together, they have one son and a granddaughter, both of whom Verdine has spoken about with pride and protectiveness. Unlike many public figures, Verdine has deliberately shielded his family from media exposure. This choice reflects his belief that fame should never come at the expense of stability or personal grounding. Family remains his emotional anchor, especially after the loss of several close relatives in recent years. Verdine White has not publicly defined his religion in doctrinal terms, but his language, interviews, and life choices suggest a strong spiritual foundation rooted in gratitude, purpose, and service. Values also central to Earth, Wind, and Fire's lyrical identity. Themes of unity, hope, and higher consciousness are not merely artistic expressions for Verdine. They are lived principles. Beyond performance, Verdine is deeply involved in music education advocacy. He has supported numerous initiatives aimed at preserving music programs in public schools, believing that early access to instruments and mentorship can transform lives, just as it transformed his own. Professional career. The birth of Earth, Wind, and Fire. In 1970, Verdine joined his brother Maurice's developing musical vision, officially becoming the bassist for Earth, Wind, and Fire. The group emerged during a period of cultural transformation, blending funk, soul, jazz, African rhythms, and spiritual philosophy into a sound that was entirely its own. Verdine's arrival completed a crucial piece of a band's identity. His bass playing was athletic, melodic, and rhythmically daring, but equally important was his stage presence. He reimagined what it meant to be a bassist, moving constantly, engaging audiences visually, and transforming concerts into kinetic experiences. Peak years and global dominance. Throughout the 1970s and early 1980s, Earth, Wind and Fire released a string of landmark albums, including That's the Way of a World, Gratitude, All in All, and I Am. Songs like September, Shining Star, Let's Groove, and Boogie Wonderland became global anthems. Verdine's bass lines were central to these hits, grooves that were instantly recognizable yet deceptively complex. His ability to balance technical precision with emotional accessibility made him one of the most influential bassists of his generation. The band's achievements include over 90 million records sold worldwide, 6 Grammy Awards, induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, an induction into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, collaborations and solo work. Outside of Earth, Wind and Fire, Verdine collaborated with artists across genres, including pop, hip-hop, and contemporary R&B. In 2024, he released his first solo project, Superman, a deeply personal tribute to Maurice White that symbolized both remembrance and renewal. House tour and car collection. Verdine White resides in Los Angeles, California, in a historic home originally built in 1919. The residence reflects his appreciation for heritage, craftsmanship, and continuity. Rather than modern excess, the home emphasizes warmth, history, and reflection, filled with musical memorabilia, awards, and personal artifacts spanning more than 50 years of creativity. Unlike many entertainers, Verdine has never publicized a lavish car collection. Verified information regarding specific vehicles is minimal, reinforcing the perception that material display has never been a central motivator in his life. His investments appear focused on music, family, and long-term security rather than conspicuous consumption. College career. Verdine White did not follow a traditional collegiate path. His professional ascent began in his teens, making higher education impractical during the formative years of Earth, Wind and Fire's rise. However, his contributions to music have been formally recognized through an honorary doctorate from the American Conservatory of Music, acknowledging his mastery, influence, and educational impact. As of today, Verdine White is alive. There is no cause of death as he continues to perform, record, and participate actively in music-related initiatives. Confusion sometimes arises due to the passing of several close family members, including Maurice White, who died in 2016 from complications related to Parkinson's disease; Fred White, who passed away in 2023; Monty White, who died in 2020. These losses have profoundly shaped Verdine's outlook, reinforcing his commitment to legacy, gratitude, and perseverance. Verdine White's story is not one of nostalgia, it is one of continuity. He represents a rare class of artists who remain relevant not because they chase trends, but because their work transcends them. His bass lines continue to move bodies, his performances continue to inspire awe, and his philosophy continues to affirm music as a force for unity. In a world where fame often burns quickly and fades, Verdine White stands as proof that artistry, discipline, and authenticity can endure, groove after groove, generation after generation.